You guys went to Alaska. It was like an energy project, right? You know, so
it's sort of like
let me
like in Alaska. Yeah,
I want to preface real quick, just to prime this. We went from being energy independent to dependent
in the blink of an eye.
In the blink of an eye, and there's a lot that contributes to it. But then you get, you know, Joe Biden's releasing the sanctions on Nord Stream 2. You get there's other pipelines they're trying to do from Central Asia and the Middle East up into Europe. They, you know, the Biden administration shuts down Keystone. They ban fracking on federal lands. Then the press has the gall to come out and say Biden is not causing high gas prices. I just want to make sure there's a few things that are clear before we get into this. When you shut down the Keystone pipeline and ban some fracking, speculators say, wow, supply is going to be strained. It's a good time to buy because in a few years, it's going to be worth way more. That instantly drives up prices. That hits you when you buy a gallon of gas. So, you weren't necessarily doing an energy project, or you know, you were.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. It was that, but also more than just that. And so when we look at these discussions, like Afghanistan, the Middle East, rare earth minerals, these elements that China is gobbling up around the world, one belt, one road, the petrodollar, so, you know, which obviously Bitcoin is a huge hedge against, right? All of these various discussions that go on, then we never seem to turn around and actually have the discussion of, well, why does all of that stuff matter so much? Why are we so beholden to all of these various things? Is this really the best way to run our country? What if, you know, and I say this on Twitter, and I've been saying it more since I got back from Alaska, is what, you know, I don't want to go straight full Fortress America, right? You know, I want to have commerce, obviously, want to have trade, but at the same time are we running our country in a way that's most beneficial for the American people who live here now, today? And are we developing our own resources for the benefit of our people versus putting ourselves at the mercy of these cartels like OPEC, which is a cartel, literally, the actual Mexican cartels, et cetera, and all of these other various things, because we've gotten ourselves head over heels for these international agreements rather than just looking internally, seeing what we have here and helping the people of this country.
What if we spent $2 trillion and deployed our military to Alaska to nation build in Alaska? The resources, the potential energy.
I know.
What if we did that?
You would at least have a tenfold return on your investment.
You'd have a city?
Yeah.
You'd have a city of Americans?
We've been mining copper as a human race for about 5,000 years. This was a great statistic that we learned at this potential copper mine. We've been mining copper for about 5,000 years as a
copper is the big
race.
thing they're talking about in Afghanistan now, too.
Yeah, tons of copper.
And lithium.
Right?
Copper and lithium, right.
The amount of copper we have mined over the past 5,000 years, we will need twice that if we are going to all drive electric vehicles by the year 2030.
Wow. Assuming that we use copper wiring.
Graphene.
Part of graphene is that it upends the copper industry.
And if it works as a technology, fascinating. But right now we use copper.
Yeah.
Right?
And
so we need copper. Your hybrid vehicle, your Prius.
And it's going to come from somewhere.
Has about 80 pounds of copper. And now we have a mandate. And that's just the Prius, right? The bigger ones, the buses have up to 300 pounds of copper.
That's for the electric motors, right?
That's all part of the battery.
That's the battery, the coil.
The coil.
The coil for the motor. Yeah, excuse me. We're going to need a lot of copper. Where are we going to get the copper from? That's just a legit question, right? We're going to need an awful lot of lithium. We're going to need cobalt, cadmium, nickel, gold, graphite.
China understands all of this, by the way, very well.
There's one state that has all of these things, but it's our playground. And rich white, and I won't even say liberals, because it's a lot of conservatives who look at Alaska as like, oh, it's so pretty, we shouldn't do anything there. And the reason why we wanted to do this trip is because when you meet Alaskans who say, I would really like a job, because there's nothing going on here, but if we open up this mine, I could maybe do something.